And with that, we say, welcome into the program. It is another Overreaction Monday on the Best Damn Sports Podcast, period. Sentell's Sentell. I'm your host, the sensational Sentell Whiteman, a.k.a. Mr. No Days Off, a.k.a. the One Man Dynasty. Got a jam-packed show today. Lots to get into, lots to talk about. Got some NBA playoff games tonight. Of course, we had the NFL draft over the weekend. Lots going on in the world of sports. Lots to cover in this 30-minute edition of the Best Damn Sports Podcast. Period. I am your host again, the sensational Sentell Whiteman. Let's get into it. No need to. Let's just dive right on into this thing. Tonight we have game one of the Eastern semifinals. Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Boston Celtics. Obviously, the big news coming from the series is Joel Embiid will be out tonight. There is optimism that he could be ready for game two, but it does not look good. And if they don't have Joel Embiid, this would be a very short series. They have zero chance of being the Celtics without Joel Embiid. So hopefully he can return before the series is over, because if not, we are looking at a very short series in short order. Quickly, the Boston is really good. If they come out focused, and that's the word tonight. They may take a foot off the gas with Embiid being out. But if Boston is locked in, this will not be a long series without Embiid. Also, we have a game two in the Western Conference. The Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. Denver took game one, blew them out. Again, the biggest question, again, where other than KD and Devin Booker are you going to get scoring from right now? DeAndre Ayton is absolute trash. I hate to call a man out by his name, but he's just trash. He's 7'1", and I guarantee you, I haven't looked at his numbers. I don't even want to look at his numbers. I guarantee in these playoffs, I guarantee he's not averaging double-digit rebounds. The other night he had 6.7 rebounds. You talking about a guy who's making $100+ million. He just got a big extension over the summer, and it's one of the reasons why it took so long for him to get that extension, because the Suns didn't believe. They truly did not believe in DeAndre Ayton, and they have got to be frustrated to the max. They are getting nothing out of DeAndre Ayton. Zero. And I asked who's going to be the guy to step up behind KD and Booker. It should be him. He is the guy that should take some of the pressure and the burden off of KD and Devin Booker. But he has absolutely not done it. He has been atrocious. Atrocious. You don't be no. The kind of money you get, you don't be serviceable. I expect you to be a big contributor and a big part to the team. Mr. KDD says he's a serviceable big man. No. They're not paying for serviceable big man. They're not paying for that. You are a big piece of this puzzle. A huge piece. You can't rely on Chris Paul at this point in his career. 38 years old, got a lot of miles on his tires. I don't expect Chris Paul to have great games every night. Or good games. He'll show up every once in a while when he's capable. But DeAndre Ayton, goddammit, is like 23 years old, 7'1", and just get punked every series. Just gets punked. The Clippers had Zubac and Mason Plumlee, and they were out there bullying Ayton. Bullying him. This guy making millions of dollars. I think he's had a 4-year extension. Big deal. Ain't a super max. I think he got a max deal. So that's not going to fly serviceable. And I didn't mean to get on DeAndre Ayton, but it just frustrates the hell out of me when I'm watching KD and Devin Booker. KD's playing 40+ minutes a night, coming off 2 knee injuries, coming off a major injury 4 years ago. And they can't get nothing out of the 23-year-old 7-foot big man, number 1 overall pick. They getting nothing out of him. I mean, just bad. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But the Nuggets look great game one. Obviously, Jamal Murray seems to show up. It's like a Jimmy Butler type situation. He shows up when the playoff comes. He didn't play well all regular season, just average. And now he's balling. They got Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon plays really good. You know, you got Joker. You got a 2-time MVP. You got one of the top 5 players in the league, top 3 maybe in some eyes. But the Suns, without the bench, they have no bench. They have 0 bench. And without the bench, if DeAndre Ayton has to give them something, he's giving them nothing. Absolutely nothing. Horrible. Just horrific. Real Walker says this is the last chance for Steph and Bron to lead a team to a championship. I would say yes. I would definitely say yes. I would have to agree with that. This is the best chance for, Steph got one last year. So the pressure's not really on him. But we'll get into this. We're gonna get into this Steph to Bron thing in a second. The pressure's not really on Steph. He got one last year. The pressure's on LeBron. LeBron can put himself into another category. If you get 5, you can start put yourself a little distance between some of the players behind you. I think he's the second best player all time. But you get 5, that puts you in another category. You've been to 11 finals. So that puts you he's 4 and 6. He's been to 10 finals. So that would put you in 11 finals. And you have 5. I know you want to have a winning record, but you get 11 championships. That's just damn near impossible. Just damn near impossible. And he went for like a decade straight at one point. So that's where we are. Yeah. Now, well, I don't know why y'all. Okay, Mr. KD is responding to Antavius Dennis when he said that Aiden's worse than Sabonis, and that may be so in the playoffs. But I bet the Suns would kill for a 22 and 8 rebound game for DeAndre Ayton right now. They would kill for a 22 and 8. They'd get their left arm for a 22 and 8. Sabonis he's soft. I hate to say it. He's a European player that's kind of soft, and he got exposed against the Warriors that he played very soft. They don't have any size to speak of. Looney's listed 6'10". He's probably 6'9". Draymond ain't tall, ain't big, but they just punked him. He's soft, but DeAndre Ayton, we expect more out of him. Did y'all expect more out of DeAndre Ayton? Did y'all? I expect more out of DeAndre Ayton. I do. Yeah, this is a big time series. So everybody's jumping the gun. We're gonna get to this, and I think it's a blast. I don't think it's a question, but I know you guys, it's a hot topic right now. It has Steph Curry past LeBron as the best player of this era, and I just vehemently disagree with that. We got numbers, we won't get to all that, but no one has ever went to the barbershop and had a Steph Michael Jordan debate. Not that I know of. I'm aware of anybody that has ever had a Steph Michael Jordan debate. I'm not sure that, and I love Steph. Don't let me get that twisted. I posted yesterday about how great he was. He's freaking awesome. For his impact on the game, he's had a monumental impact on how the game is being played now. The 3-point, the spreading the floor, the little guys, size don't matter now. If you can shoot, you can probably get to the league. You don't have to be 6'8", 6'9", 260 pounds to be the most freakiest guy in the world. But I love Steph. Let me get that out the way. I love Steph, but in no universe has he ever passed LeBron as the best player in this era. LeBron is probably one or two of the greatest players to ever play this game. And not just the longevity part of it, just the absolute dominance of the sustained excellence that he's had. Steph started off early with injuries. Now he's obviously went on to have a Hall of Fame career, 4-time champion, a 2-time MVP, a 9-time All-Star, 9-time first team All-NBA. A 9-time All-NBA, not sure all on first team, but he's in his career numbers: 24 points, 4 rebounds, 6.5 assists. That's good. But that, like I say, that's early in his career, so his numbers are a little dip. You look at LeBron averaging 27, more points, more assists, more rebounds for a guy who they say can't shoot, and we compare it to the greatest shooter of all time. And then plus LeBron on the defensive side. I ain't saying Steph is a parked car, but LeBron at times could guard 1 through 5, and we saw him do it. We saw him take on prime D Rose. We saw him then go down in the paint and guard the great Tim Duncan. I've seen this multiple times. So, I mean, I ain't saying Steph a huge liability, but he's a liability. But, people don't just, they don't score him at will. I mean, people like Kyrie Irving have, but I mean, it takes great score to do that. But he's not in the same stratosphere to me as LeBron when it comes to being the best of this era. No, has his impact been more? Yes, he's changed the way the game of basketball has been played. He has done that, but he is nowhere near the player that LeBron James has been. It ain't even close. Now, you want to start having this conversation about the best point guard of all time? We getting there. We starting to get to that point. It's not fair for me. Like, I didn't see enough of Magic. I've heard. I got video. I'm a historian of the game. And I respect Magic. So I usually just keep him where he's on that list. But if I'm comparing my adolescent years and on to where I'm at right now in my life, because I always like to make lists about what I've seen, who I've seen play, vividly seen play. I seen Michael play in his prime. I seen all Michael Jordan, the 2-3 piece. I saw that. I watched him at his apex. So it's fair for me to critique him. By the time I was of that, Magic was fading away. Then he got diagnosed with HIV or whatever. So he was never Magic. I never saw Magic. The guy that went to like 8 finals in 10 years right out of college. I never saw that. I've heard, but I never saw that. So it's unfair for me to say that. But I'll let the historians tell you about Magic. But I can say right now, Steph Curry, the greatest point guard that I've ever seen, if you're going to list him as a point guard. But I think sometimes we get to a point where this is positionless basketball now. Guys not even like, he's not a traditional point guard. We think about the John Stockton and the Jason Kidds of the world, people who orchestrate to get 10, 12, 15 assists. These guys don't do that. The Dame Dollars, the Kyrie Irvings, the Donovan Mitchells, and they listed as point guard, but they're not point guards. They out here to score first. Chris Paul is one of the more current guys who's more of that bill. But these guys are not traditional point guards anymore. They shoot first guards. That's what they are. But you want to call it whatever you want to call it. I think Steph Curry is one of the top 10 greatest players I've ever seen. I can't speak on players I've never seen. It's unfair for me to make that critique, but I've never seen you play. But he's definitely top 10 players I didn't see. But he's nowhere near LeBron. I hate to bust your bubble, but nowhere near LeBron. Mr. KD, noted Miami Heat fan. Well, yeah, of course you would trade somebody because he's probably Bam? Is he a poor man's Bam? Of course you would trade for Aiden. I don't know, not doing it for what? Are you not watching the same playoffs I'm watching? Are you not watching these playoffs? I don't care about his little regular season 14-10 or whatever he's giving you. What is he doing in these playoffs? He got abused by Zubac. He got abused by Mason Plumlee. He got abused by Jokic, which is going to happen, but you got to get yours. 7 rebounds. KD had 13. If he can't get me no more than 10 rebounds, why are we speaking good about DeAndre Ayton? What is good as being 7'1" if you 23 years old and can't get 10 rebounds when Kevon Looney just got 21 the other day and he got 9 offensive rebounds? You can't get but 7 in a whole game. I'm never speaking about no damn DeAndre Ayton about nothing. He showed me nothing. Almost time. Ray Walker said Steph Curry is the little Wayne of the NBA. Is that like, is that like a Jay-Z, then Lil Wayne, because it's always like Jay, then, Lil Wayne. Is that what we going with this? Like he's never going, he's never quite, he's got he's more influential maybe, but it's not the best. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the generation, they F with Weezy. Is that what we going with this? Okay, gotcha. Maybe that's what you're saying. Jeff Gilbert, noted LeBron hater. Bruh, his time is over. How's it over? I can't tell. Is Steph impact on the game the largest ever? The largest ever? Possibly. I spoke on it, while I'm doing my little rundown. I was speaking on that. He's changed the game. Teams taking 30 shots, 33 points a game as strategy. I know for a fact the Brooklyn Nets, Jock Vaughn said we want to get 33s up a game. Now, this is a strategy. You back in the day, you had 3-point specialist. You had a guy who came out the bench who was known as a 3-point specialist. That's what they were, specialists. And now you got everybody trying to find the next Steph Curry, the next great shooter. People coming out on fast breaks and not even go. When we grew up, you go to the lane, you got 3-on-1 layup. Nope. We pull up for 30-foot threes now. We don't even go to the hole. We pull up for 30-foot threes, and that's considered a good shot. So, of course, his impact is great. His impact is just on the game. I don't know about ever, but his impact is more than LeBron will ever be. And Mr. KD says joint impact greatest ever, not even close. Globally, is growing the game, but Steph changed the way the game is played. Jordan made everybody want to play the game. It made it universal, made it more global. Of course his shoe. This is a brand thing, but I mean, for the actual style of play, he didn't. I mean, people want to be Mike. You can't be Mike. Everybody can't be 6'6" and jump from the damn free throw line. So yeah, you can want to be Mike, but you can't be Mike. You can be Steph Curry in a sense. He's 6'2", whatever. You can be 6'2" and shoot the lights out. You can't be 6'6", dunking from the free throw line, gliding through there with your tongue out, or LeBron 6'9", 270 and run like a receiver. No, you can't do that. Dan says Steph plus Draymond greater than LeBron. See, I know this guy is a noted Michigan State fan. Noted Draymond Green lover. So you see, I had to throw the Steph plus the Draymond against LeBron. You obviously can put Draymond against LeBron. That's not even a fair fight. And I don't even think I don't think it's a fair fight with Steph, because with Steph versus LeBron, I think, Steph has the advantage head to head, but two of those, I'm not gonna take them out. It's just two of those. Yeah, KD at his apex. I mean, they're not beating that team. You can say what you want, but they're not beating that team. That Warriors were at the peak of their powers. Draymond was still a great player at the time. Klay Thompson was still one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Could shoot it. Steph was a 2-time MVP, and they had KD. They wasn't losing in that series. But the other two times, LeBron come back 3-1. Then the one time Curry won after they were down 2-1. They come back after they put Iguodala in the series. So to me, I throw those two outs. This is legit right here. This is both teams. Both guys are carrying these teams right now. Carry that. I shouldn't say the Lakers are getting carried by LeBron, because Anthony Davis probably has surpassed it as the best player. But for his terms of legacy, and when we come down to it, Steph and LeBron, I just don't think there's even a comparison for who the best player is. I mean, one could be more. Steph might end up with more championships. It's possible. It may well could happen. I'm just trying to read some of these y'all comments. Y'all kind of repeating some of the stuff I'm saying. Like I say, I just don't see, and we can have this, keep having this conversation, over and over and over again. But nah, but Steph, the impact is there. It's changed the game the way it's been played. Even if KD wins the ship, will he get his due? Oh, if he win with this team right here, if he win with this Sun team, he get a lot of credit. He get a lot of credit for me. If he could have won with Brooklyn, he got a lot of credit from me. I mean, he has to, not have a 2-time MVP, not have a coach already built. This team don't have no bench. So I'm going to give him credit. They will be carrying this team. I can't see it. I don't see it. I think the road ends soon. So I can't see it. Even if they got past this series, they're not beating Golden State or the Lakers. Because you're asking so much of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant right now. You talking about another grueling series. Them guys, look at the minutes those guys are playing. Look at the minutes that KD and Devin Booker and Chris Paul are having to play at this point in their career. Not Devin Booker's. I just put that in there, but they don't have a bench. I just can't see how you're going to sustain this. And you playing quality teams now. You got the Nuggets now, number 1 seed, and then you're playing the Lakers Steph. I mean, so, in the Golden State Warriors, I just can't see how they're going to sustain this. I can't see him win it. But if he win it, big time props for KD. But we've never seen him do it. You know, you can say he carried that 17. You can say he did that. That was Steph's team. And that's just the way it was. You know, he felt really comfortable on that team. You know, a lot of pressure was off. You know, I mean, when you play with a top 3 player in the league at the time, you got one of the best defensive players in the league at the time, you got one of the best perimeter defensive players in the league at the time, you got one of the best shooters in the league at the time. So, I expected the Golden State Warriors to win those series. But I will say this. Game 1, I want to say, was it the first or the second one? I can't remember if the first series or second series. LeBron, when the Cavs, win that game 1, Steph and Clay was there, Draymond was there, KD was there. And LeBron had a masterpiece. The J.R. Smith game. The J.R. Smith game where he just lost his damn mind for a minute. LeBron outplayed everybody on the floor. It was clear as day who was the best freaking basketball player in the world. It wasn't even close. I didn't know them guys was even out there. LeBron had put on a masterpiece, controlled the game. They had 48 or something like that. And he just controlled the game. He dominated the game from beginning to end. And both them guys was out there on the floor, and I didn't even notice they were out there. That's how great that guy is. And then J.R. Smith just threw it all away. In an instant, just threw it away. Jeff Gilbert said, so the Lakers Warrior winning it all? No, I think the winner comes out the East. I like Boston now. I did like Milwaukee, but I think I like Boston. I think the winner of the East, Boston. I'll revisit that. I will see how the Lakers look. I think it's really tough right now out the West. You look, like I said, the quality of opponents. You finna have a grueling series with the Lakers and Warriors. Then they have to play the Nuggets or the Suns. And what's left of them going to have to play the team in the Eastern Conference. And I think the Eastern Conference teams, not that the games won't be competitive, I think it'll be an easier road to get to the finals than it will be for those teams in the West as it is right now. But I mean, we can revisit that. I think the Lakers have a good chance. I like the roster right now. If they can get past Steph, because that presents a whole different set of problems. They're a good defensive team, but the way the Warriors spread you out, space the floor, it makes it tough on you defensively. Because you switching everything, you getting bad matchups, bad rotations. That's what they do. And then, Draymond hit out with the point guard duty sometimes. So it just changed. They just play a style of game that you ain't ready for. Boston wasn't ready for it. Because if you look at that series on paper last year, Boston, we all thought Boston should have won that series. I think most of us thought Boston would win that series. But when you get on the floor with the Warriors and you see what they do, and then Andrew Wiggins, let me bring Andrew Wiggins on. He didn't have a good game yesterday, but he has changed a lot of what they're doing. He's their second best player. It's Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is the key. It's not Clay. It's not Draymond. It's Andrew Wiggins. Because if you look at that run they had last year, Andrew Wiggins was clearly the second best player and played his ass off defensively and offensively. So it's about Andrew Wiggins with the Warriors, but I won't go there and say the winner of that series is going to win the finals just because of how tough the West is to come out of the West. It's the Miami Heat contenders or pretenders. Can they win the championships? Well, anytime you knock out the number 1 seed, I would never call you a pretender. And I don't know what the hell happens to this team in the postseason. I have no idea what Pat Riley and what Eric Spoelstra does in the postseason. I have no idea what they do. But this is not even the same team. This team got beat in the first play-in game. It took 2 of them. And then they wiped the floor with the damn number 1 seed. The best team in the league, they wiped the floor with them. Beat them down. But they got to be contenders because you beat the 1 seed and they just went on the road yesterday and convincingly handled the Knicks. And I think if Jimmy Butler is healthy for the series, they're going to dismantle them, especially if Julius Randle don't come back. They don't pay the level that Miami plays at. And I don't think the Knicks can beat them, especially without Julius Randle. But I just don't think Miami has enough for Boston. I just can't see that. They're not going to let Jimmy Butler just destroy them. I don't know how the hell Kyle Lowry all of a sudden turned back the clock yesterday. Gabe freaking Vincent had 20 points yesterday. Wasn't it Kevin Love just turned back the clock? I don't know what's going on in Miami. What the hell is going on in Miami? I have no idea. But they gotta be contenders because they beat the damn #1 team, and they got Jimmy freaking Butler, and he turns into freaking Thanos when the playoff starts. That guy is an absolute monster. And so if I think he should sit him game 2 and make sure he's completely healthy for the rest of the series. Don't risk it. You got 1 already. Let him rest game 2 and take care of business. I don't think the Knicks can beat them. Shakir Rose said Lakers in 6. That's what my prediction would be. Lakers in 6. Lakers in Boston. I see. I can see that. I can see that. Even though I do. Yeah, I can see Lakers in Boston. That would be a great series. Wiggins is Iggy 2.0, says Ray Walker. I mean, you saying that Iggy, Philadelphia Iggy, or Warriors Iggy? Because Warriors Iggy ain't Andrew Wiggins Iggy, because he's a bona fide stud on this team. Iggy was a great role player when he got to the Warriors. A great a terrific role player. Won an MVP, shouldn't have won it, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. He should have won it, but that's neither here nor there. But Wiggins is a stud. You go watch the playoff run from last year, and you tell me what you see. That Andrew Wiggins was clearly the second best player on that team last year, and if he can do that again, they're gonna be a tough out. Jimmy Buckets, man, he's been fantastic, man. And he was on their way to another 30-point game yesterday before he got hurt. 30.9 rebounds, like 4 steals. This guy, I don't know what this guy does. It's like he gets vibranium when the playoffs start. He goes to Wakanda and just gets the vibranium, and then he don't give a damn about the regular season. That's facts. That's facts. He just don't give a damn about the regular season. He don't care about that. He don't care zero about that. But yeah, man, so the playoffs are hot and heavy. About to talk about the playoffs. About to have like I said, game 1 of the Eastern semis is about to start in a few minutes here. It's about 7:30. I will try to get to some of the draft stuff. Don't know if I'm gonna make it. I only got about 2.5 minutes. We can run out of top 10 picks before we got in. Switching over to the NFL draft this weekend. Obviously, big weekend in the NFL. Bryce Young, the #1 overall pick. Don't think there was no surprise there. Number 2. CJ Stroud went to the Texans. At number 3, a bit of a surprise because the Cardinals were there, and the Texans trade right back up to the 3rd spot and take what I believe is the best defensive player in the draft, Will Anderson, at 3. A bit of a surprise at 4. I think we all knew Anthony Richardson was gone in the first 5 picks, probably. I didn't think the coach would pull the trigger. I did not think the coach would pull the trigger, but he goes 4 at 5. Devin Witherspoon, the quarterback from Illinois, goes to Seattle. At 6, then Arizona takes Paris Johnson, at the offensive tackle from Ohio State. At 7, Tyrese Wilson at DN. I forgot who drafted that guy. At 8, the Falcons drafted Bijan Robinson, which is a kind of a head scratcher because I mentioned Tyler Algier during the draft coverage. He had 1,000-yard rushing. So I'm not really sure if the need was a running back. Not really 100% sure what the Falcons are doing right there. Jalen Carter went 9. The Eagles did a fantastic job of getting me some knees and hit some knees or whatever. And at 10 was Darnell Wright. The Lions took Jamari Gibbs at 12. Just some notables right here. Deontay Banks went to the Giants. I got some Giant fans. Cornerback from Maryland. Maisie Smith, the D tackle from Michigan, went to the Cowboys at 26. Anthony Harrison, old tackle, went to the Jags from Oklahoma. Miles Murphy, Clemson flavor, went to the Bengals at 28. Brian Bresee went 29th to the Saints. And then Nolan Smith went to the Eagles at number 30. So we're now calling the Eagles the Philadelphia Bulldogs because they have a roster full of Georgia players on their team. That's what we're doing. Let's see. Oh, I got a lot of stuff just rolling in here. Let me see where I'm at. I'm going to get some of these. I'm going to get out of here. I'm about to go. We got to get to some draft stuff later on. Let's see. Denver looking serious. Yeah, Shaq, Denver looking really serious. Suns are pretenders. Yeah, the bench, without the bench and anybody helping DeAndre Ayton, I killed him earlier, but you can say the DeAndre Ayton stuff. He's been bad. Yeah, I can't see them winning this series. Definitely can't win the next series. Your position to win it all. I said Boston. I believe the Eastern team was going to win all year. I'm going to stick with the Celtics, even though I think the Lakers are peaking at the right time. We see how that series does go. Draft winners. it's hard to say. I hate doing the draft winners thing because we won't know for 2 to 3 years who actually won the draft. I mean, I think the Carolina Panthers win the draft. You get the best player in the draft. You got the best player in the draft. So how you ain't win the draft? I mean, you got the best player in the draft at the most important position. So if you get Bryce Young, you win the draft. You go draft winner. The Texans, you get a franchise quarterback. You get the best defensive player in the draft. You are a winner to me. The Eagles addressed a lot of needs. You are a winner to me. So it's hard to say. I think, it's hard to quantify who's going to be winning. But I just think, if I look at a glance, like I said, them teams that got quarterbacks, I think you win. Anytime you get a quarterback in the top 5, you think you've won because you think you have a franchise quarterback. But we won't know for 2 to 3 years. Maybe we'll know sooner. Sometimes you know really quick. The Jets found out really early about Zach Wilson. It happens really quick. It happens really, really fast. So we'll get there. We'll get to that. Yeah, you need 2 running backs. I get that, Jeff. Absolutely. You need 2 running backs. But if you're picking an 8th pick, you got bigger holes than a running back. I don't want to pick that running back right there if I got one. That's a rookie. Now, if it was you still tell me you had Cordero Patterson still, just only him, yes. But that guy played well. Tyler Algier played really well for you. So I don't know if that was a huge need. So, yeah. Dan says Eagles, Steelers, Giants, draft winners. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I gotta say, you're not gonna know. I mentioned Joey Porter Jr. obviously got drafted by the Steelers. That you're right. Who didn't see that coming? Joey Porter Jr., who played for the Steelers for a long time, fine linebacker for the Steelers back in the day. His son goes to the Steelers in the 2nd round. So, and then Will Levis did get drafted in the 2nd round by the Tennessee Titans, which brings me to another point. What the fuck are the Tennessee Titans doing? They drafted Malik Willis last year. They drafted Will Levis this year. I'm not sure. Do they know already about Willis? Do they already believe they got a bust? Do they already believe? Because we know Ryan Tannehill last year. This is his last year with them regardless. Whether injury, get benched, this is last year of the contract. So I don't know what they're doing. You're wasting a pick. You got more needs and you pick a quarterback. You already got one you're developing. Unless you just already know. If you already know Willis ain't no good, by all means, go ahead. But we shall see. But hey, it's been a great show, man. A lot of content, a lot of feedback. I enjoy it, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, or comment at the bottom on this YouTube page so you can see more of the Best Damn Sports Podcast, period. The undisputed champion of sports podcasts, Sentell. I have been your host, the sensational Sentell Wideman. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow and we can kind of talk about that draft a little bit more. But for now, y'all enjoy the ball night, basketball, NBA playoffs, hockey playoffs. Big upset in hockey last night. The Bruins, for you people who don't watch hockey, basically the Bruins pull a 2016 Golden State Warriors. Matter of fact, it was even worse. The Warriors did get to the finals. They lost in the 1st round. They were the best hockey team in history by record. But anyway, I digress. I will see you guys on the next time. This has been Sentell. I will see you when I see you. Peace.